Hey, Ty, Brad was listed as questionable. Is he playing tonight?
Yeah, he'll be out tonight.
He'll be out.
Yeah.
You got a starter in his place?
Bogey.
Bogey.
Just out of curiosity, Kawhi was playing in the fourth quarter. Game was got to his 32 minutes. Are you just trying to get him into conditioning? Is there any reason that he was out there in your mind from a strategic standpoint going forward?
Yeah, conditioning. Just getting reps, yeah.
Ty, what does a perfect offensive possession look like to you, like process-wise?
I don't know how you would assess that. I just think us playing with pace, initiating the offense with, at least 18 before we hit our first trigger. The ball moves side to side and you get an open shot and find an open man, But, because, you can score in so many different ways, off pin downs, off pick and rolls, off ISOs, off post-ups. So I just think if you're just playing the game the right way, and you can see that, visually on tape, and you can see it during the game, and just making sure we're playing the game the right way.
Ty, how important is pacing tonight, and how do you guys impose your will there?
Pacing, it's important just to handle the pressure. All four of their guards pick up full court. When they go small, all five guys pick up. And so, creating 42 turnovers in the last two games for them, Minnesota and Golden State against two great teams, it just shows you the amount of pressure they put on teams. And so we got to be ready for their pressure and understand what we're trying to do and how we want to execute.
How's Brad feeling? Is this an injury that happened Friday night, or is this something he's been dealing with for
Yeah,
some time?
he took that charge. Yeah, he took that charge and kind of gave him some back spasms. So just a day-to-day thing.
And getting Bogey back into the flow of things, what are you looking to do offensively against? I know you just were discussing that pressure defense. How do you want him to get himself involved in the game offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I think he'll have to have, a lot of the ball handling responsibilities. I think with, Drew Holiday guarding James and Kamara guarding Kawhi, Bogey can't handle that pressure, bringing the basketball up and initiating offense. And so we're going to need him to do a lot of that tonight for us.
Ty, Danny. I know you probably asked this the other night. I was up in Portland with the Trailblazers the other night. You and Chauncey obviously really close. How do you just process everything that's happened with him, his family, et cetera, over the last 48, 72 hours now?
Yeah, it's hard to process. Like Chauncey's my brother, since he was 17 years old. And you hate to see him go through something like this along with his three girls who are my goddaughters and his wife, Piper. And like I said, I believe in Chauncey's character. I know who he is as a person. I've been with him since I was 17 years old. And so it's just hard to see something like this, happen. So he has my love and support always.
Are you guys allowed to talk to him? I know the Trailblazers are not supposed to or something.
Yeah, I could talk to him. Yeah.
You guys, have you been able to at all or reach out?
Yeah, I talked to him. Yes, ma'am.
How can you share anything with how he's doing? Or
No, when you know somebody for so long, you can just tell, by their voice. Just listen to his voice if he's okay. And like I said, he's confident, and what's going on. And then just the toughest part is just, for him, it's just like his family going through it, his daughters. But other than that, he's really confident about the situation. So just hearing his voice, I can just see that he's okay. So that was good to hear. I don't know. You got it.
Donovan Clingan kind of presents some of the same. He's kind of the same profile as Walker Kessler in terms of what Utah did. What kind of challenge does that present for you guys again tonight?
You know what? It creates a huge challenge because he's a great shot blocker. He's great around the rim. He can make a three. But when you have four guards pressure in full court and he's on the back line, it does make it tough for your offense. Like, Utah didn't pressure. We still struggle. And so when you got a team that pressures full court with four different individuals and then he's on the back line waiting for you, it does make it tough. So we just got to understand what we're looking for. I think our team understands, how we want to score against this team, how we have to attack them. So now we just have to execute it.
Coach, you mentioned him a little bit, but what does Bogdan need to do tonight to be successful getting back in the swing of things after a few DMBs?
No, he's been great, and it's hard because, like I said, Bogey is a competitor. He's a really good player. And I think coming to training camp being hurt, and missing, 3 to 4 preseason games, and the other 10 guys had a good flow going. And so he was the first one to say, like, I understand. Like, I know, like, I'll be ready when you need me, coach. And I said, okay. And we talked about some different scenarios. And, like I say, he's ready to go, and he's going to start tonight.
Ty, Derek obviously shot the ball great the other night. Confidence-wise for him, it's the second year in your system with him. Have you seen his confidence grow from where it was last summer coming in to where it is now?
I think so. I think, the biggest thing is Jay Larranaga has been huge, with him of just shooting every day. I think DJ's been in the gym 33 straight days now, like just working on his shot, no off days. They got those little small rims and all that different stuff. But, Jay Larranaga has been the key. Like I say, he shot a career high from 3 last year and having a good start to this season right now as well, And so, I just tribute that to, Jay's hard work along with, DJ coming in every single day, putting the work in.
Ty, you closed with John for the most part. Curious what you like about the pairing with him and Zoo. I felt like there was a couple times there when Zoo was drawing 2 in the post. It did help to have a guy like John out there for him to find. Just what did you like about that pairing specifically? I
just liked, whatever worked tonight. This was just a situation where we wanted to win the game and whatever it took, And so I thought JC did a great job as far as rebounding the basketball. I loved his energy. And then, like you said, when Zoo was being double teamed, he did a great job cutting to the basket. And so tonight was just one of those nights, like, just fish until you find the right combination. And like I said, those guys did a great job. And once again, KD, I thought starting the second half really, changed our team a lot as well.
Ty, Kawhi started the game with a lot of energy, scored 9 in the first quarter. How important is it to get him engaged early in games?
Yeah, it's very important. Just to get him active, get him going early in the game, get him touches so he can kind of get a rhythm. And like I said, that's my job and responsibility to do that. And like I said, I thought he got off to a great start, which got us off to that great start. And then when they went small and kind of pressured us, picked us up full court, we did handle their pressure very well.
Coach, it looked like in that first half there, the offense was kind of sped up, which kind of led to some of the turnovers. What did you guys do in that second half to kind of slow things down to make the game easier?
I think, like I said, incorporating KD, let him initiate the offense, take some of the pressure off Kawhi and James so they don't have to dribble the ball up the floor, verse the pressure, then make every play as well. So I thought KD did a great job of just initiating, getting us in our offense without turning the basketball over and without getting sped up.
You mentioned you just needed to do whatever worked to get through this game. Like, what was it like seeing that lineup Portland was putting out where they didn't have Yang, they didn't have Donovan Clingan, and they just have 5 look like switchable twos, making it hard to do anything?
Yeah, I thought we struggled with it early, and I'll take full responsibility for that. But we knew it was coming. But until you actually experience it, you don't quite understand how to play. And so just watching them play against Golden State, how they took them out of their offense by speeding them up, pressuring them, we knew they was going to do the same thing with us tonight. And I thought, for them, Blake Wesley came into the game and really changed the game for them defensively. I thought his pace really hurt us for them offensively, just attacking early, making the right play. And but second half, we were able to kind of, start KD in that second half, kind of calm us down, understand what we wanted to run. And when they went small, we were able to get the ball to Zoo and try to make them pay. And when they started double teaming, I thought JC did a great job of just finding the open area to complete baskets around the rim.
What makes you feel good about the fact that you're down 1 starter, you're introducing a starter who didn't play the first couple games, you have all these veterans, all these guys who can play, and you get to kind of play with these matchups, play with these lineups, and see what's working, especially at this time of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like I said, it's going to take us, 10 to 12 games just to figure out, how we want to play, who fits well together, getting a set rotation when we're healthy, when guys are able to play, decent minutes, and so, but like I said, our guys have been, working towards the right things, and just, it's going to be a learning experience as we go through these games because it's not a lot of practice time, but we got to continue to just keep building and keep getting better.
Coach, Zoo took 9 more shots this game than he did against Phoenix. What did it take to get him a lot more involved offensively?
Well, they went small. we know Zeus, is a great focal point of our offense, especially in the pick and roll when he's playing in the pocket, finishing around the rim, or making the right pass and play. Last game, I just thought we, played so good offensively that we really didn't get to it, as much as we like to. But I thought Zoo did a good job just keeping his composure and understanding, that we're going to come to him and they're going to play small. We're going to try to punish him inside.
You talked about Chris Dunn a little bit. He got into some early foul trouble, but then you had the confidence to put him in the closing group. What did you like out of him toward the end?
Like I said, just to be able to initiate the offense where the pressure doesn't bother him, and his defense, the way he can guard and defend. And so he's very valuable to us. And so, like I said, these last 2 games, he was huge for us.
Ty, you just won a game where you guys had 22 turnovers. They shot almost 20 more free throws than you guys, and you also struggled to shoot from 3 in the first half. Are you more happy that you came out with such a gritty win, or kind of more upset that it got so sloppy?
No, I knew, with their pressure and how we've been able to handle the pressure in the past, I knew it was going to be a tough game for us, So now it's been 66 turnovers they caused in 3 games, So I knew they was going to get up and pressure us and be in passing lanes and make it tough for us. And, we got to do a better job of just handling teams that do that. We can't let them speed us up. We can't let them turn us over. And so, like I said, I'm happy with this win because I knew it was going to be a tough game for us.
Ty, last season, you said you wanted to get to 10 to 15 games to sort of assess the team. Do you have a number in terms of games for this season?
Around the same.
Okay.
Ty, there was a challenge that you made with about 3 minutes to go. It was your last time out, and there appeared to be some hesitancy. You kept looking to Chris Holguin on the bench to see if you should challenge it. Since it is your last time out, is there even more hesitancy to possibly make that call in that moment?
No, I told our guys, Jeremy, Holguin, and Tim, like, if you think it's the right play, then call the challenge, And so I'm not gonna get mad at you if we lose it, but it was an important call. Tim, he had Tim had the great mindset to want to challenge it, even though it's our last time out, and we went with it, and we was able to, get a free throw out of that with James instead of, losing the basketball and not getting that extra point. So that was a huge challenge for us.
Ty, CP hit 2 threes in the second half. How good was it to see him kind of find a scoring rhythm after a tough first 2 games offensively with the scoring?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think, getting him off the ball where he can catch and shoot, like he's still elite at that, not putting too much pressure on him to have to handle the basketball versus these guards who pick up full court and pressure and try to wear him down. So it was good to see him get loose and, knock down 2 threes, which was big shots for us, during that stretch.
Ty, you talked about just wanting to get off to better starts. You got off that start today, and then you gave up, I think, a 23-2 run in that second quarter. What with this team do you think is kind of the key to consistency over 48 minutes?
Just finding the right combinations. I think also, like I said, their team, they went small. They pressured us. We were big on the floor, and they took advantage of that. And so in the second half, I thought our guys really, settled into the game and understood how we wanted to play. If they're going to play small, then we would go inside the zoo and try to, punish them, which we did, and we were able to do that. But, it's going to be a learning curve, over these first 15 games, just trying to understand, how we want to play, who we want to be. And when you acquire new guys, in the offseason, it's going to take some time to just kind of see what fits and what works. And so I'm just proud of our guys, like you said, getting off to a good start, losing the lead, they go back up, and then having the composure to come back and finish the game the way we did is huge growth for us.